welcome this evening. This is Dr. Brenda Roach, if you've just jumped on. And you can call me Doctor, or you can call me Brenda, because that's just much easier. And again, I apologize for my red face this evening. I just got down working out for my first workout of the day, and I actually have another one later this evening as well. And so I'm really glad for you jumping on. Hey, Skylar, glad you joined me. And so tonight I'm going to be talking about some really simple methods and tricks to really not overeat, to stop overeating. Hey, Kelsey, glad you joined me. Again, I apologize for my red face. I just got doing my first workout of the night, and we'll be doing my second one for the 9-week challenge here coming up pretty quickly. So again, let me know that you're here. If you're jumping on live, give me some thumbs up. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're catching this on a replay, hey, Mary, glad you're watching. If you're catching this on a replay, put hashtag replay down below and let me know where you're tuning in from as well. So again, every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. I'm coming online and really talking about some health and wellness kind of topics. It's a variety of different things. Tonight talking about methods to, hey Lisa, ways to not overeat. And again, I'm usually going to have a red face when I'm on Thursday evenings because I just get done working out. So you'll just have to put up with it, but it feels great. Hey Lisa, glad you joined me. 2 Lisas on this evening. Hey Kelsey, thank you. So let's just jump right into it. And also, if you think this could be helpful for other people, hey Darlene, glad you're on. If you think this could be helpful for other people, feel free to share it as well. So when we look at overeating, whether it's emotionally charged, whether it's out of boredom or just pure mindlessness, which is a lot of times for me, when I overeat, that's really what it is. Overeating is something we all do from time to time, and it's just becoming more aware of when we're doing it. And I have some really, really simple tricks. They seem really basic and common sense, but I would encourage you to think about how often you actually utilize these. And I have a challenge for you. Hey, Angie, I have a challenge for all of you is to really take these into consideration for the next week on every time you're getting ready to have a meal. And so if you're up for the challenge, put I'm up for the challenge, I'm in down below, and we can check in next week as well. Our culture in general just tends to overeat. We have larger portions than ever. You go to all the fast food places and they want to know whether you want a whatever size it is, and they large size. I don't go to the fast food, so I'm not really sure. Hey, Ed, glad you're on, but do you want a king size it or whatever they call those things, and they want them larger and larger. So we really have as a society, hey, Sue, gotten to the point where our portions are just out of control and they're very, very large. And somewhere along the way, hey, Bonnie, somewhere along the way, we've just really programmed ourselves to eat until we're full. And we know that it takes about 20 minutes for our brain, for our stomach to catch up, for us to really know that we are full. Supersize. Thank you, Darlene. I can never remember what they call that. It's been a long time since I went through a fast food one. Instead of just eating until we're no longer hungry, until we satisfy our hunger and return to neutral, we tend to just overeat until we're full. And we tend to rush what we eat as well. Whatever the reason is for you, there are some really simple tricks that you can use on a daily basis to just be mindful of your consumption, to really keep it at a more healthy level and be more aware again of what you're putting into your body and how much you're putting into your body. So the first one is, and I've talked about this one on several, hey Paula, glad you joined me. There is, I talked about this in several other lives that I've done, but it's, drinking water. Being more hydrated. We know, hey, Mary, we know it seems like a no-brainer, but the majority of people just don't drink enough water. And dehydration accounts for countless ailments and symptoms we encounter on a regular basis. And we don't even thinking that it's a water intake related. Hey, Janelle, glad you're joining me. And so we really need to look at water intake and drink more water. We really should be drinking half of our body weight. Hey, Terry, half of our body weight in ounces. So if you're 150 pounds, that's 75 ounces of water. If you're 200 pounds, that's 100 ounces of water a day. If you're 120 pounds, that's 60 ounces of water a day. What we also know is that our hunger and cravings can often be taken care of if we just drink a glass of water. Hey, Mary, glad you joined me. So whether, you carry a smart bottle around with you, or you keep your, just a water bottle around with you at all times throughout the day, it's just really important, again, to just stay properly hydrated. And it really will. You'll find that your cravings will go down if you really just stay a lot more hydrated. So that's number one, drink more water. Pretty simple, but how many of us really, really look at that? Excellent, Kelsey. And how about eating while distracted? How many of you, give me some thumbs up or put down below, distracted eating, if you eat when you're distracted? So do you sit down in front of the TV or watching a movie, or you're working on a paper, or you're doing something else and you have a bag of chips next to you, or some popcorn or peanuts? Or for me, it would have been a bag of, Oreo cookies, and they're all sitting there, and before you know it, they're all gone. Yeah, Ed, it is. That is a hard one because we get programmed. We program our brain to eat in certain situations. And so it really is looking at breaking that pattern. So really not eating while you're distracted, and eating just really mindfully around that, so that when we're eating, we're eating. When we're watching TV, we're watching TV, and not doing both of them at the same time. So that's another big one. So drinking enough water, not eating while you're distracted or doing other things is huge. The next one also it seems really basic, but just writing down what you eat. And that includes even little things that seem like, are just minuscule and wouldn't add up. You want to put everything down that you're eating, and you can write that in a journal. There's tons and tons of apps. If you need to know some apps, put app suggestions down below, and I can throw some of those into comment, the ones that I use that I really have liked over time. But it's in there, most of them are free, that you can use to really, really track what we are eating and putting into our body. And if you use workout supplements, pre-workout, during workout, after workout supplements, you want to make sure you're capturing those as well in the calories that you're putting in your body. So it's really simple, just writing it down, putting it down. You would be surprised at the end of the day on how much. Yes, Lose It app. That's what I'm using right now, Mary, and I love it. It's a great app. You can track your water in there. You can track your exercise. You can track all your food in there. And they already have a lot of the foods that I eat and different things that are already in there. So it's great. Yes. Have you done that surprising if you're totally honest? Yeah, it really can be very surprising. When I first started my journey on health and wellness and losing weight, I thought I was eating really healthy because I was eating, lean cuisine meals all the time. And when I started tracking it in the app, all I was eating is carbs. If you look at those pre-made kind of things that are supposed to be diet related, you would be surprised with how many unhealthy carbs and toxins and other things are really in those. And so once you start tracking that, you really can start seeing the breakdown of what you're actually putting in your body as well. Hey, Bernie, glad you're joining me. So again, the first thing is drinking more water, staying hydrated. The second is only eating when you're eating. Don't do the distracted eating, and writing it all down or using an app to really track what you're eating. The fourth one is focusing on your portions. That's a huge one. Hey, Cammie, glad you joined me. So instead of putting all of your food on the table, for everyone to kind of dish up, at least for yourself. Yes, Darlene, lots of sodium, huge in the pre-made things as well. So focusing on your portions, and so, just serving yours up, maybe, unless you want your whole family to start joining in on great portions, but instead of just grabbing it, putting out the portions. And you want a really well-rounded, of course, meal with plant-based items taking up the majority of your portion, followed by lean protein and then the healthy carbs and healthy fat. You don't want to limit any particular type of food. That is the problem with a lot of our diets, is that they start limiting like all these high protein, and low, have it balanced, and you will find that you will lose weight. You will feel more satisfied. You will not have as many cravings. So keep it balanced over time. Another trick that I use is using a smaller plate. When you use a smaller plate, it seems like you have more food. And so it kind of tricks yourself into thinking that you're eating more than you actually are. And when you get done eating what you have on your plate, if you're still really, really hungry, then just eat some more vegetables that are available to you. And the last one is when we go out to eat, again, our portions are huge. Yes, and it really makes a difference using those smaller plates. It really does. So when we go out to eat, if you think of the portions that you get nowadays when you go out to eat, they are really large. They really are at least 2 meals. And so what you can do is you can ask them when you place the order. First off, you can check with anyone you're eating, do you want to share a meal, and then break it in half and share it? Or you can ask them right from the beginning, could you have the cook put half of my meal in a to-go box? So then you're only getting half of what you're ordering. That will be full proportion of enough for you to eat. And so that you're not then, thinking about, oh, I got to eat all this on my plate, or, again, getting into that. So really just asking them to put half of your meal in a to-go box already, and then you'll have it for tomorrow at lunch, or the next day for supper. Hey, Kiana, glad you joined me. So we're just really looking at that. And I would encourage anyone jumping on, if you didn't catch this from the beginning, go back from the beginning as well. And so again, it's just these really little things that you can do on a daily basis to really keep you from overeating. And they're simple to do. They're really effortless to do. And so again, I want to challenge all of you. How many of you are willing and are going to take me on this challenge to really look at this for the next week? So in the next week, really being aware of drinking half of your body weight in water. So in ounces. So if it's 150 pounds, you're drinking 75 ounces of water every day, and really tracking that. Eating only when you're eating, not when you're being distracted. Hey, Kimmy, glad you joined me. So not using that distracted eating. So not when you're watching TV, not when you're writing a paper. When you're eating, and it's purposeful and mindful of when you're eating. The third one is writing it down or using an app to really track every single thing you're putting into your body. You don't have to do that forever. You will get used to it. But in the beginning, it's really helpful because you would be surprised, again, with how much what you're actually putting into your body. The fourth thing is really being aware of your portions. And so that's at home, and really trying to make sure that it's balanced and not just doing one type of a food versus another. So having a well-balanced meal with the biggest portion being plant-based, followed by lean protein, followed by healthy carbs and healthy fat, not restricting yourself, using a smaller plate because it will feel like you're eating more. And if you're hungry when you are done with your plate, eating more vegetables. And the last one is, if you do go out to eat in the next week, asking them to put half of your food in a to-go box from the very beginning back in the kitchen so that you don't even see it, or breaking that down and sharing your meal with somebody else at the table. So again, if you're willing to join in, let me know. What is a good app to use to keep track of food eaten? There's several different ones, Cami. So there's one, MyFitnessPal has a great one. Lose It is the one I'm using right now. I really like that one as well. And you can get them, they're free. Of course, there's paid versions of them as well, but they're free and they work really, really well. So anyone else have suggestions, put it down in comments on what else you might be using. So that people can check it out. I'd appreciate that as well. Those are the two that I've used the most. Again, MyFitnessPal as well as Lose It is the one that I'm using currently. Hey, Roberta, glad you joined me. So again, if you found this helpful, give me some thumbs up. Let me know that this was helpful. If you think this could be helpful for other people, please feel free to share it. Yes, my ISA Lifestyle. I use my ISA Life tool. I use that one as well, of course. For those that are using, Isogenics products as well, it's great. And even if you're not, it's a great tool to use. So again, I hope you found this helpful. I will be coming on again next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And we'll be talking about something else around health and wellness. I really appreciate everyone jumping on. I know we're all busy, and I hope you have a great evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you're tuning in from. And really kick it this week and really start looking at what you're putting into your body and the portion sizes that you're using, and make sure you're staying hydrated. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.